Hey guys, Wolvie back, and this is going to be another run into the Nintendo accessories project. Like I said, I'm going to do certain parts one by one. And by certain parts, certain types of accessories by themselves. Then one of the last videos is going to be the hybrids. And then the last video will be the accessories I recommend and why. And this is for those who are on a budget, which does include myself to an extent, so without any further delay, outside the fact that the item you see here, which holds the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons and the battery pack you see here, this is going to be included, because that way it's a bit of it's more so of a yay or nay thing. So that's going to come at, so this stuff right here, this and this will be at the very end. So without any further delay, we're going to do a comparison contrast between two cases you see here. This one right here is by Hori, Hori, and this is the Legend of Zelda edition. So it's kind of like this, as you can see here, how my hand is moving. So you have the hand like right around here or here, depending on on certain circumstances. You do it like this, and then you pop that guy open, and voila! You have one fully assembled kickstand. Now, surprisingly, it's a little thinner than this, because you can see, you clearly cannot see the other one, in comparison to the one you're seeing right now. But for this one by Hori, this is actually a little more sturdy. Now, sometimes, the dimensions do matter. Sometimes it doesn't. It really does come down to individual needs, wants, and individual opinions. So, for those of you who are Zelda fans, this might not be a bad option to have. But do keep in mind, it's a little bit more narrow. And that's that on that. So, with that out of the way, we are going to get into the other one. I'm going to take a quick pause so that way I don't sound scratchy. So I will be right back. I am back, and I do have to apologize for something I said earlier in the video. I thought this was going to be a little bit wider than this one right here. However, I did a little bit of a comparison, and it looks about to be the same dimension-wise. But the one you see before you, it's actually by a company called Mass Carry, I believe it is. But yes, this is actually the one by Mass Carry. Here's the thing that this is it's the same style setup as the Hori one. However, appearance-wise, it does look a bit cheap and kind of flimsy. I mean, that's more susceptible to break in the worst case scenario. So, but I think the good thing about this is that this is part of an accessories bundle. So you might be better off having more than one of these kickstands around. So I will say, though, that if it's set up completely correctly, you actually are in luck, because it does have a sturdiness of its own. So that's it on that. So with that out of the way, I'm going to take another quick pause, and I'm going to get both the stand to charge the Joy-Cons and the battery pack in the vicinity. So I will be right back one last time. I am back one last time, and I'm going to go over the battery pack right here. Now, this is one of those I purchased because there is one hybrid item that's coming up in a later video that was seemingly unavailable because it's that good. So I went out and got me one of these instead. It's a battery pack, and it's just a battery pack. But if you think it's a whole stand, if you think it's a kickstand, it's not. So it is a battery pack, and I very, very, very strongly suggest to have a battery pack with the Nintendo Switch at all times, because the battery life for the Nintendo Switch right now is anywhere between 3 and 3.5 hours, which is a very short amount of time. So you definitely want to have at least one battery pack with your Switch at all times, especially if you're on the go. So when it comes to Switch stuff, this is right here is the like a stand of sorts, and this does charge your Joy-Cons. So with that out of the way, if you notice this cord, it's a good thing it's like this, because that way you can hook it up to a plug. It's like a fast charger or a not fast charger separately, and bada bing, bada boom. So this is one of those I definitely recommend having as well, especially if you're at home, as well as having more than at least like 2 pairs of Joy-Cons in your possession. So that's that on that. Like I said, I'm going to end the video on this regarding the stands. I mean, both, believe it or not, they're around the same dimensions, give or take. So it's one of those things where I think the question is more of the sturdiness factor. Do you want something that's sturdy and looks like it's sturdy, or if you want something that's flimsy, part of an accessories bundle? The questions you always have got to ask yourself. So with that out of the way, the next video is going to be on the controllers, because I have roughly 4 to go over by themselves, and then the next video after that will be the hybrid section. So now that's out of the way, I will be signing off, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.